Good morning, all. Or I guess, fuck, this is going to be terrible. I thought I could do it. Hold on. Hold on, I can do this.
I don't know about you. My throat's starting
I can do this. Yeah, I'm just pushing on today.
Okay, I didn't want to say that on camera and get the glare from over here. I'd start like oozing under the table.
There's only one Hans. Good morning, all. I guess happy lunchtime for my friends in South Towns and others of you living in the future. And welcome to Kal-bardr's Corner for this special on-site episode of Coffee with Cal. I am Baron Kal-bardr Gellir without a voice today. Commanding the Midnight Green Cross, commanding the Argent Comic, commanding the Koffee, commanding the Power Science, commanding the West, and Reaper. Coming to you live from, Cal the Nutcracker, apparently. Coming to you live from the Principality of Sinagua.
Yes.
Yeah, Principality of Sinagua in the West Kingdom. From the site of the West Kingdom Crown List. Now today, I am joined by one of the two new hosts of Ask the Night Live, a fellow Crown contender, and just a jingly friggin' person. Welcome to the show. Shake your foot. There you go. Okay.
It's my locator.
Yeah, because she runs away if you don't put bells on her. So welcome to the show, Countess Annora Raines. Good morning, Your Excellency.
Oh, you jerk.
So, Annora, if you will please introduce yourself to people and tell us who you are and why you're awesome.
Awesome. So as he said, my name is Annora Raines. I am a countess. I blush at it because I'm my peer-like qualities are few and far between because I'm incredibly loud, as everybody in this poor kingdom knows. I hail from Sinagua, right, literally in the navel of California, I swear to God. Here in the West, been playing since 2005 and been heavy fighting since about 2015 with a couple of years, thank you, COVID, and one injury and a birth. Christ. Oh God.
But the kid's cute at least. Which
That's what you
That's what you said.
So in the West, when I reign in birth, that's what
phrasing. We're at phrasing
yeah.
currently number one.
Yeah.
I apologize. I don't even know what it was now.
I do. It's terrible.
See, somebody even says you need to stop talking.
So this is my father.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's my dad. So hi, Dad. This is drainage because this site is dry, like not alcoholically dry. Like it's 0% humidity here. So
Okay, no, whenever people say you need to stop talking, we need a drink.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm drinking coffee. I'm not going to get drunk this morning.
I'm drinking water, so I'm going to be
That's
the most
fair.
hydrated I've ever been in my life. I'm going to have to pee like 6 times during this.
Right.
shit.
So speaking of our drinks, the show is coffee themed. We must talk about our drinks. I'm bougie. We all know this. So I've got cold brew, which is probably a bad act. But I need hot, but that's what we got. But I found an oat milk pumpkin spice creamer.
You guys don't have that where you are?
No.
Oh, California has a win.
It's always almond milk, and I'm allergic to almonds. Yeah, my life is
Dude, just
terrible.
die.
I'm the worst vegan ever. Like, how am I allergic to almonds and also vegan?
I
don't know.
mean, you can be allergic to plants. Oh, do you guys eat plants? Don't ask.
He is.
Do I-
That's
plants?
why he has allergies.
I don't understand veganism. I apologize.
You eat plants.
Do I eat
I don't.
plants?
I'm so
They
sorry.
don't
I'm a
talk
horrible.
back, Annora.
Is that the rule?
Yeah. If it doesn't yell when I kill it, I eat it.
Oh. There are some trees that do talk. So what are you going to do now? They
That's
talk
a
to
whole-
each other?
Don't start that.
Oh, they change their
Don't start
chemicals? They
that.
close up on
You
themselves?
change your chemicals.
I tried. That's what birth control is. And that shit didn't go well.
Drink for
God,
her.
drink for word, okay.
All right. Man, we're going to pee great today.
Right. All right. So, Annora, tell us about what your water versus water. Tell us about your
Yeah.
cup.
I don't drink coffee because it just tastes like dirty, bitter water to me.
Yeah.
But I love to pretend like I'm a badass and be like, oh, look, I'm drinking coffee with everybody else. It's the same how I do alcohol. Look, I'm drinking.
Tell us about your cool cup. 'Cause you have a cool cup.
It is my Hufflepuff cup. I am obscenely Harry Potter and Friends and Marvel or MCU like obsessed. So it's either Hufflepuff, a Friends period, like it literally has Friends around it, and it's a mug, and it is, or I have a Captain Marvel one being made. So I'm obsessed.
There's a little bit of a Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, I see the face
Wonder Woman.
vibe going on over here.
Anyway, so
She gets really mad when I say that because she has the Captain Marvel things behind her. But if you don't know better, it looks like Wonder Woman. So yeah, we have some Slytherins watching apparently.
hey, Slytherins are awesome.
Thank you.
Completely mislabeled.
All right,
You guys
and
are really nice.
Party Dad has asked us to introduce the amazing live studio audience. All right, I'm gonna spin the
Go.
camera around. Ready?
We're
Wait, everybody look. Hey, should we say that? Wait, wave.
Party that us for a look at
Wait, wave.
camera.
Yeah.
Randall.
Oh.
Randall. They offered Mikey what is it? An elevation to Pelican.
Elevation.
Pelevation.
They've offered him a Pelevation.
Yay! Oh, drop the mic.
Sorry for feedback.
Okay.
They
There
offered
we
a
go.
elevation.
No, I like elevation.
Okay.
I like Pelevation.
Uh-oh. Hang
Hold
on.
on, I'm breaking stuff. This is gonna be a hell of a show, guys.
Fuck me running.
All right.
All right.
Spicy words today.
So, yes, spicy.
need to think about it a lot more.
So,
because I kept
today we're talking
hearing
about the Western Crown Tournament
people-
and then roses, and we'll sort of do it in that order. So, I'm from Meridiers. Our crown tournaments are very, I'd say structured, but like it's a limited list. We herald in a procession.
Like
It's
each person?
usually- yeah, each person's
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll talk through my, and I'll just talk through West.
Yeah.
All right, so when we do a crown list, we line up in OP order. Each person is heralded in by a herald, and then they present themselves to the crown. They have a private conversation, and then they go off and they stand in line. Right.
Interesting.
Each person does that. Granted, our list is only like 20 deep usually.
Okay.
Like maximum. We had 60 fighters yesterday, something like that, like 45, 50.
50-ish.
It was a bunch, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was a bunch, and that was a small list from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about West. Like, what did we see yesterday for doing that?
So I'm trying to explain it smaller. Essentially what we do is when you sign up, you have your unbelts and your belted, and the belted then get called, and they all line up like parallel to the crown. And what you do is you stand there with your consort and you have your banners to make it really pretty, and they will call them up to each field color. So we have 4 fields usually, and they'll call them up. For example, my husband was the first one called up yesterday because he was the count. He was the highest in the list. So he goes to that field. Then the next field will get a count or a duke, and the next field. And then they kind of like just go through them and slowly like filter them in like cards.
It like seeds the field so you don't have all
Yes.
the dukes in one spot.
And if the unbelts outnumber the belted, which sometimes it is very
I think we
common
did about
occurrence,
3 or 4
Yes.
yesterday. Yeah.
the unbelt will be called over to fill up that field, and it's a really big honor to do that, and it's by the crown's discretion, by who they and then what you do is you get called up by your name. You come forward and say, my name is so and so, I am fighting for this person. And it's really cool to be able to see. Sometimes it's friends fighting for friends, it's husbands and wives, it's parents, siblings, and it gives you the opportunity to introduce your consort and to really just kind of talk them up sometimes too. Like a lot of people will say, like, this is the person who's given me my all, who's been my everything. It's super romantic sometimes too. That's the best part about it. And so much pageantry, and it's just a lot of fun.
It was interesting for me because so I find Capot on Thursday, and I'd seen the Capot fights and seen some of the prep for that, and I didn't realize how exactly they built it. Like Ob did a good job with that.
Yes.
It's exactly like the Crown Tournament, just a much smaller format.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that's cool, because like, and it really
Very new.
because I also got called over on the Capot because I was like I was the visitor, like I
Yes.
was like not the highest OP, but like they're like, hey, you're a visitor, you get to do a shift for the day. I was like, that's cool. But it's vibrating.
That's probably tough.
Oh, okay. I was like, good God, the world's exploding.
Sorry, no, that's fine.
You're good. But so watching that was really interesting. 'Cause watching the Shiv all present themselves and line up, watching them shuffle down was just
Oh yeah,
for
clean
me.
cut, move down.
Yeah, clean cut, move down. So when the Shiv all finished their side and they called over the 3 or 4 of the unbelts, the Shiv side, then we got the challenge.
Yes.
And that
What did
was-
you think about that?
Oh, that was cool. So like I knew it was coming, and I'd been like, oh, fuck, what am I gonna do? I was told certain nights they want me to challenge him because he was scared of me. Is what he said. So, you know,
I accept. I accept.
I'm pretty sure I stabbed you yesterday. No, so yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question for you.
Speaking
All
of who
right,
we
so
challenged.
speaking of my challenge,
This is my night.
so Sir Leotolf beat the internet.
We're on the line.
Hello, Internet.
He was not prepared for that.
That's not. What you
Why
got?
do I have a bag full of bocce balls?
Oh, I'll get them.
Okay, all right.
They're mine. Kind of. They're
All right.
winters.
So that was Sir Leotolf, who I challenged yesterday.
So a challenge you. Oh,
yeah.
you're gonna
No,
play the
please
show.
go ahead.
No.
That's you.
Sorry, I forgot-
Please, it's your show. Please.
I forgot the challenge part. You literally at the unbelted side goes over and walks up to the knight, and usually it's a fun of who's the highest in the OP,
Right.
who's the fight I'm really looking forward to, who have I not fought. You go over and you just, hi, my name is so and so. I'd like to challenge you to this first round, and that way you get to decide who your first fight is, and it lays out your day. So I'm
which is interesting. So usually at tournaments and days, it's really take the cards, shuffle the cards. And
Really?
Yeah. So it's never any kind of like you occasionally get 2 dukes first round, and there's no
you do not come back from that.
Yeah. It's great for the underdogs in the room when they watch the 2 dukes beat the hell out of each other first round.
This is
Good for
true.
us. Now usually they end up dropping to the redemption bracket and coming back out because they're dukes for a reason. But but it was fun to watch. So and we challenged this by sign up, right? It wasn't by precedent. I couldn't keep track of who was going when.
It kind of seems sometimes it is if you get there for like they'll open the list the night before, and if you get there first, you are usually the first one called up. Yesterday, Cormac is one of our soon to be knights, so they call him up
as his last time to challenge.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the fun part about it. Sometimes they'll do it alphabetically.
It's by sign up order or the crowds win.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's always the crowds win.
I think anything we do in the SCA is blah 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 or the crowds win. That's always the caveat to it.
This is very true.
Courts at 5 or when they want to.
They might come in 30 minutes early. Be prepared. Surprise.
Which was funny yesterday because court got moved. We originally were at 4, then got moved to 6:30. We're like, cool, got time to shower. Oh no, it's 6.
Yep, exactly.
And people were like, oh, court's started. We should we're eating still.
Yep.
They just brought their bowls up to court.
And that's you got to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can go long.
Keith and I were mad we didn't bring our court snack cups. It's a Trimerian tradition we brought to Meridia's was bringing court snacks to court.
Well, in Trimeris, they pass out snacks during court. Because sometimes courts can go for a while, so they will come around with.
The crown will bring
look at all of us Westies going, that's genius.
Court snacks, man.
They once got dragon pudding, there's everyone gets a
okay, that would actually be really fun. Do you guys have a big amount of people who are usually sitting in courts?
About the same.
Oh, okay.
About the same.
And they'll come around with baskets and snack cakes and stuff like that.
That would be really fun. Do that next time.
Do
that next time, Your Excellency.
Please, yeah.
So we went to Trimeris, and it was our first time in Trimeris court, and so we got to come up and get a gift, and so we got little cups. Hello. And so we just declared, well, now this is
you look fancy.
These are now Trimeris court cups, so I fill it with grapes or
oh, that's
genius.
genius.
It's like a generic plasticky goblet.
Yeah, so I just fill up my cup.
But
it brings Trimeris in the different places. This is now my Trimeris court snack cup.
Okay, that's actually incredibly genius because people start getting hangry and then they're like, just finish. I don't care what award they got, just get done.
Get them to come too.
Exactly.
Yes.
They even had
Promise them
t-shirt
snacks.
one time.
They did.
Shirt cannons.
So
that's genius too.
From different events.
Apparently, this show has turned into entertainment anthropology. I love it.
Well, and it's like, oh my god, I never thought of that.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Duchess Maisie and Duke Kern printed Swamp Lords of Trimeris shirts. And they had so many of them. They're just like, screw it, shirts, and started chugging shirts.
Oh
and they yell boulder like the fighters would do. Rock and so it turns into entertainment, which makes court more fun, right? Because court's fun if you like court, but if not, you're like, all right, I want to go drink now. Can I go drink now?
Sometimes it's called church.
Yeah.
Back to the
I tried to be Baptist. They wouldn't let me sit on the back row yesterday.
Oh, no, it's more fun when you get up at the front. You get to see all the stuff.
My father's watching. Okay, so we challenged fighters, right?
Yes.
So who was your challenge yesterday?
I got called over.
Oh, that's right.
I did. I got called over. I was absolutely
fancy.
It was not. I was very incredibly honored, and it caught me completely off guard, which never bodes well for anything coming out of my mouth.
I think you were in the back fighting with your kid.
I was in the back. Yes.
You were wearing your child's dress as a hat.
No, that was when I got called up for my husband, where he was trying to be really awesome. And then the other one was she was playing next to the big beautiful banner that we have out in the middle of the field, and it's I'm trying to watch her while being like, I really appreciate this. I really appreciate this. What am I supposed to say? What are you? What is your? And I looked at my husband and went, I forgot your name. Because his name is Heinrich, and I always want to say Heimlich, and I'm like, I always tell myself, don't say Heimlich. So yes, and as a verbal dyslexic person, I'm gonna say shit in front of the grounds. So, yes.
So who challenged you then?
Actually, it was like the second to last person, Luigi, and it's because we've never fought before, and he's like, I've been wanting to fight you forever, so I'm really excited to finally get to fight you in a tournament.
That's awesome. It's like I like the pageantry of it, right? Because you get to step up. So I was told by Sir Daoud, he said, find the flag and find the person next to it, because that's the biggest badass on that field.
That's a good point.
Find that person, challenge them. I was like, okay, cool. So I was looking at the flags as people were, because I was like 8th or 9th. So I'm watching, going, okay, Kenrick's gone, David's gone. Okay, who's this? So I was like, So Sirleatov, her knight, her foster knight was sitting there, and I was like, well, he's next to a flag, and they're saying there's some emotional connection because I know him as a person, and he and I haven't got to fight yet. So I was like, I guess that's who I'm challenging.
Yes, and it's
I
a
said,
great.
If we get to pick somebody, we're picking Captain America.
Well,
Yes!
and also he was yeah. So his garb is Captain America based,
Yes.
all the time. So he looked kind of badass too. So
Yeah. And that's the fun part about it. It's the being. Sometimes people will put it into their pageantry of, I'm fighting for my lovely lady, and you know what, dude, I have not ever been able to encounter you on a field, and I am going to challenge you now. And sometimes it kind of bites them in the ass because it'll be I've already been challenged. I'm actually just walking off the field. I've had that happen. That was actually King Cyrus. But it is like you said, it's the ability to be pageantry. It's ability to meet these people that you never get to see often, and because you might not encounter them in the list, they might go the entire day and not be able to do roses.
There were 4 fields, so
Exactly.
and I only fought 2 fights in Crown. So like, out of these 50 fighters, I only fought 2 of them.
Exactly, and that's
So,
where roses is great.
Yeah. All right, so we fought the list. We fought 4 fields, standard double limb turn.
Correct.
Right, so you lose 2, you're out. After we got down to 24, probably 20 fighters.
When they break down the fields. That's usually doesn't matter.
A number.
Usually it's about the 4th round is when they're going to
okay.
break them down to the 2 fields. But sometimes if there's 3 fields, if there's 2 fields because it's a smaller Eric, they will still break it in half.
And Eric is a list field.
Oh,
by the way. Eric is a list field for the rest of us in the world. Okay.
I forget
The
that.
list field. Yeah, you guys call it the Eric, and it's weird.
Imagine being called Eric.
The list field.
I'm sorry, I was reading somebody's comment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Party Dad says not the first time you've been called over, Your Excellency.
Yes, and every single time I'm like, oh, this is bad. This is so bad. So yes, especially when you call me your ex. Oh, sorry.
I enjoy your drink.
Did we say birth again?
No.
We haven't had a phrasing for a while.
Wait, it was true. All right, so the standard double tournament, and that part I knew. So we went out and we did salutes and of course all the pageantry. Now, a cool part before that. So once we were challenged, we took our cards over to the list table, and for the first pairings. But then we got to take our banners over to the central thing.
Oh yeah,
and I'll post pictures later because it's not pretty early. I've got a picture of what all the banners.
Oh yeah.
But every fighter's banner was in the midfield with the single war banner for the West Kingdom. That looked badass.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Like I was like, that's a
What do they call it? The spire?
Apparently in Artemisia they used to
Spire, I believe, and it's the Kingdom banner. And
Yes.
it has all of the devices of all of the territories, principalities,
baronies,
cool.
shires, everything.
Nice.
So it represents the entire kingdom.
And it just seeing all the banners together from different shapes and sizes and lengths and all that was just it had such an impact on the field that day because you could see what you're up against.
And then every time when you lose, you go and you remove it. So until the very last victor is standing.
Yeah, and that watching them come out throughout the tournament was really cool.
It's really neat.
That was neat. So
see, somebody else calls it an Eric. Thank you, Artemisia.
It's Artemisia. You can't trust nothing Artemisia does, frankly.
I mean, they're not the West, so I can't.
He can say that.
I can say that I'm court baron from there.
Oh, where are you not court baron from?
I'm not. So my court baron is from Artemisia.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I actually got it in Artemisia, which is really funny because they're from Meridian and I'd never been there until I got my court baron.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's bragging rights.
So fight tournament for standard tournament format. So after the 3rd round, obviously there's most of us are out. So we went and fought roses.
Correct.
So we'll talk about that, and then we'll get back to the sort of finals because they did something interesting in the finals today that we had y'all hadn't seen before either.
No,
it was not atypical to me, but it looked really interesting. So roses, standard open field format, right? Standard open field, go pick a fight. But when you lost, that fighter got to tell you to go to their majesty and get a rose.
Correct.
So tell me about that. Like where did that come from? Yes, a
flower,
flower. You go to the roses to get a rose, and the flower not the person.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick up Vera and run away with her.
I honestly,
Vera, I give you the pizza.
Gosh, that would actually be a really fun win. That'd be really fun, honestly. I kind of think that I swear to God, it's been around for the longest time. I don't even know how long. Dowd, do you know? I've only been playing since 2005.
I'd say almost 20 years because it wasn't when we were original. We came back from our break, so it's somewhere about 20 years.
Okay, so it's actually quite young, I would say. So
it's my midpoint,
but it's exactly like you said.
Yeah. It gave the rest of us a chance to fight. And also the rapier fighters were out there.
Yes.
So obviously, crown tournaments for rapier fighters.
You can do it for also other things too, but I'll get it.
Okay, so crown tournaments are usually heavy central. So in Meridians, we have usually no classes, nothing else going on. It's just tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very centralized on that thing. But again, less people.
Usually like
open salon.
Yeah, there's just the open salon shop, but it's around the field, just
Okay.
hanging out, right? But it gave the rest of us who were out in two something to do, but also the rate providers. The minute roses open up, they're out there fighting
Yes.
because they could, because it's open field.
Baby.
Hello.
Oh, my
Oh, it's a river. It's winter. Kai Winter. Come on, camera.
Come on.
Oh, good morning.
So speaking of little tiny roses, so I lost
your
to Annora
hair.
at one point, and she asked me to deliver a rose to this tiny cute child. And okay, so so when you deliver the rose, you tell them, hey, I lost this person. They did a cool thing, whatever. So when I took one to Winter, I said, hey, here's your rose. Your mom says hi. She went, ooh, pretty. And I was like, oh my God, I just died on the inside.
She'd been wanting a rose all day, so I was so thrilled to hear.
Yeah, it was super good. So she was able to play with, because she was so Fizzgig, who's a Hyannis dog, they've been running around hanging out. So they're in their pet, and I was like, hey, Winter, I got something for you. And she came over, she was like, what? So cute.
I'm very proud. And yes, Party Ed, you're right. And that's what I was gonna say
yeah.
is that you can do it for archery. You can do it. Gosh, they even had it like I think once somebody did it for singing. You can have the kids come up and maybe do like scavenger hunts. It's all
dance battle.
you could honestly do that kind of thing, and it's at again the royals' discretion. And I say royals because coronets do it as well,
Oh, okay.
and even some of the smaller.
We also don't have those.
This is true.
Because we have no principalities.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Yes, and so they'll sometimes do like, and you can choose your colors. That's the really fun part about it. Some people have done carnations. Other people have done like I think somebody did lilies once because there was no other flowers. So really, it's just whatever. It's just to make the field pretty, is what they say.
And it so like the Crapeau, right? It was so originally with the Crapeau, we talked about this on the previous show, was to encourage the fighters to be more crown-like.
Yes.
To prep them for being crowned, right?
Correct.
So I think doing the roses does a very similar thing because it makes you talk off the cuff, makes you be a little more genteel, a little more chivalric. It's not just swing the stake.
Yes, and you have to approach their majesties,
Yeah.
and oftentimes the princesses or the other royals are sitting with them, which can be incredibly daunting if you're a new fighter.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're walking up with Catriona and like I think Sarah was sitting there and Helga never stopped running around long enough to sit down. Tulia was sitting there and a couple others.
Yes.
Like that's a bevy of
Yes.
yeah, and Hans was fighting on them. That's a bevy of folks.
Yep.
They're intimidating if you don't know them,
Mhm.
right? And with this giant pile of roses sitting next to them.
Yes. And the nice thing is it's the really nice part about it is that if you didn't authorize fast enough to get, because sometimes we'll authorize people that morning for
Sure.
crowns. We've had that happen before.
Try not to.
We try not to.
The goal is not. Yeah.
Yes, but if it's the hey, you've been at practices for a while, we just haven't been able to catch you at one to get authorized. We can do it real quick here.
Right.
But it also gives them the opportunity to, if they didn't authorize or they couldn't join, like if you didn't want to fight in the tournament, you could come and do roses instead and still be able to encounter all these people. Like if you weren't in the tournament, you and I didn't catch each other in the tournament, we were still able to encounter each other. If we didn't have Great Western, we would never have gotten that opportunity. And it makes it so much fun because then you might have asked me to take a rose to your lady. I've never met her before. So I can go up and go, hi, I'm finally Annora, get to finally meet you.
Right.
Cal's asking me to deliver a rose for you. And it gives you the opportunity to meet all of these people you might never get to encounter if you can catch them.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So we talked about it a little bit before the show. So let's look at some of the downsides of roses, right? So I think this is something to talk about.
Yes.
On how can we improve it? So I think it's a neat concept, and yes, there's some logistical issues. If everybody's at the field, everybody's always watching. It's easy.
Yes.
And I was fortunate; all of my people were I could see them immediately.
And you thankfully knew them.
Yeah, and I knew most of them.
Yes.
So it was a couple I didn't, but like it was easy. Okay, she's sitting right there because she's got a kid in her life. She's not moving. It was easy to find. The only one I had to turn down was Mercy, but I couldn't get it to Mercy anyway, so I had to get it to Katie.
Oh,
but I couldn't find Katie, so I found Tina. I just
and it becomes a fun.
Yeah, I walked down the Grims. It was easy.
Yeah, that is.
I found a Grim to give it to because speaking of Mercy, Mercy's allergic to roses. So whenever Mercy got one, we walked by, hey Mercy, this is your rose, and then we went and took it to Katie.
Got it. Okay.
Which is one guy.
That's one of the downsides.
He brought it up to Mercy, and Mercy took it, being nice, and then Carrick immediately took it from her and said, "My lord, will you now take this over to Katie?" She's allergic. And I think and the fact that they had that prearranged was good.
Yes.
Because I knew it would be difficult for me to make it receive rose. If I was allergic, I'd be like, "Oh, thanks, I want to take this," because I don't want to be a dick about it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, "Oh God," and throw it away.
Yes.
So I get.
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, that is one of the downsides.
Is chasing people down is
Yes.
hard, especially if you really want to fight.
And that is the
Yeah.
you could spend 45 minutes because it's oh yeah, she's in the corner pavilion sitting with friends.
Right.
Hey, where's so and so? Oh, she got up and she went to the bathroom. She goes wandering over to the bathrooms. Hey, have you seen her? Yeah, she passed and she went that way. So now it's this horrible search 'em game.
Right.
So I mean that is one of the downsides. Hoping to find like a different way to change that up as a countess. That is one of our countess and duchesses is the roses.
You mean when you reign, maybe?
What if there was a thing for the consorts wore something so they stood out more against
So
everyone?
it's not just consorts.
Oh,
Yes,
They can
you
do
can
that.
give it to
Yeah,
any
yeah,
like
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Winter's not my consort,
Yeah.
or I've had roses delivered to my foster
I
night.
think she'd be a great queen.
I think she would. Oh God.
Hashtag winter for queen.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, which is-
That was her birth announcement. So birth. Thank you, everybody.
I was gonna say phrasing that's your kids, so I'm leaving that one alone. Exactly. Moving on.
Oh!
Yeah.
God, I relived it. So, Jesus, fuck. I'm not drinking enough. So, that is the downside of roses. We want to implement something else, and if any other kingdom ever decides like they want to try it, I highly recommend almost having like a tagging system for the roses.
Right.
This is something I want to try, and it gives the opportunity for you to like just sit there. I'm gonna go back out and fight. So.
Right. And like deliver them at the end when you're done.
Yes.
Or,
So
or
we're
just leave them and say, hey, go get them. They're here.
yes,
Yeah.
and so we're getting ready for another drink. Get your cups
Okay,
ready.
yeah.
When I was queen,
Uh-uh.
I actually asked to have throne picked up and put on the field.
Sure.
So I could watch the unbelts and the king watched our
Which it's about a, what, 100 foot?
no. The thing
I'm looking at this field like I was where we
Yeah.
were versus where the throat is.
they brought out
Yeah.
an umbrella.
Yeah.
It allowed me to sit down underneath it and I got to watch them. I got to really focus on
Right.
them and it was so awesome because they only had to come like 3 feet.
Right.
And they came up and said, I fought so and so. I need to deliver it. And I really was like, you guys are not here to measure dicks. That's one of the problems that sometimes might happen. There might be somebody out there who just, okay, I'm going to fight you 3. When whoever wins takes the rose. Well, of course it's going to win. He's a good fighter. I'm not going to put titles anywhere.
As a more advanced fighter, and got out because a bad shot or got out.
Maybe didn't even want to compete that
or
day.
didn't want to compete. Yeah.
So he goes out to the roses field and just pretty much is king of the hill all day.
Right.
So I told mine, I'm like, you guys, everybody can fight, but what I would like is that both of you come to me. I want you to tell me, did you work on something? Did you just want to have fun? Did you use a weird weapon style you've never used? And it really the roses were just freaking going.
Right.
And anybody, I'm like, if you cannot find that person, if you literally turn around, cannot see them on the Eric, you stick them here, you come back when you're done.
Right.
I want all the fighting to happen today.
Right. And that's so you as a fighting queen.
Yes.
Right. I think that's probably different. You had a different mentality to it than the
Mhm.
other 90% of the queens.
Yeah, I like
Right.
to use it, and I tell people when I go out there to do pickups, I'm like, I'm not coming out here to prove anything. I'm coming out here to work on what knocked me out.
Sure.
I'm also out here to enjoy it, and I would love for the both of us to go up and then deliver roses because I like I know your consort. I'd love to deliver one, assuming that's who I'm taking it
Sure.
to. It just really gives the opportunity to walk up together. We talk about what we've worked on. We kneel down before their highness or their majesty and just be like, hey, we had this really fun exchange. It was so much fun. I learned great things from this person. And you get to talk them up as well.
Right.
You're not talking yourself up. You're talking this person's prowess up. And
which
then
was what I enjoyed about it actually. So I go into Her Majesty and I lost a lot. So I was with Her Majesty a lot yesterday. Which, and of course, because I'm out there, I'm like, oh, look, you got a white belt. I'm going to fight you because I'm a glutton for punishment.
oh, they're more fun.
Right. Well, in my first fight was Prince Consort Hans.
Oh, God.
If you've never fought Hans before, it's a mistake. Don't do it. Watch him fight. It's pretty. Do not let him hit you with a stick. So I tell people, I told Her Majesty, he started stabbing here. He wanted his sword somewhere back there, and I was in the way.
Yep. And he got it there.
And he got it there through me.
It's like he's a duke or something.
Yeah, it's the first time I felt like I actually got impaled by one of those weapons. I was like, it's crushed. Like I fell over because it hurt, not because it was like, oh, I'm dead. No, it's like I need to lay here for a minute and collect my thoughts.
Yeah,
you know?
my ribs are currently
Yeah,
wings
they're
at this
over
point.
there somewhere. I'll pick them back up. But I got to go talk to Her Majesty and explain to her that, and she thought that was funny. And Tully was sitting there, and so a couple times I did that where like, oh yeah, this big knight beat me to death with his club, and the third night beat me to death with something else. I'm like, Your Majesty, you guys grow them a little heavy out here, don't you? Like you train them well. She's like, oh yeah, we do pretty good. So like,
I mean, throwing three. What are you looking at me for, boss?
Yeah.
My other great grand knight is
Yeah.
giving me a glare, and he's a duke.
yeah,
He's
certain
our
Duke
Uber.
Connors
Yeah,
over there.
he's our
I'm sorry,
Uber duke.
Hold on. Viva le Crapeau!
Viva la Crapeau! Explain that, right?
Oh yeah, we had a show after Andre West.
That's
around
right. That's
Crapeau.
right.
So if
With
you don't know
four
what
of
Crapeau is, watch our past show.
Yeah, so if you don't know who Crapeau is, go out on Cowboys Corner and look at that. Find that Thursday and do Connor, who is her grand night.
Fighting Queens being such an interesting. No, because I made an ass of myself at Great Western.
Well, no, but I think it does bring an interesting aspect, and I'm curious to hear from the other ladies here that don't fight. Like, as a fighter, you have a different view on it. So
Yes.
So Kisa is not a fighter, but she's working to become a fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and she looks at fighting more like a fighter does,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny when she walks away sort of from a fight that I fought.
Mm-hmm.
But she's on the sidelines fighting with me.
Yeah.
She's like, looking
Oh,
at
I do the
shots,
same thing.
She's like, oh
Which
god,
you-
dodge that one. Yeah.
We have to.
Am I-
They're asking us to bring it down a little bit because they are still having their
Apparently,
laurels.
I'm too loud today, and
You.
that's surprising.
That was a very awesome dig. Finally, you got a shot on me.
I know, right?
Finally.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's an interesting thing. So we talked about roses. We talked about crown tournament. What are we missing?
Gosh.
So it's finals.
Oh, finals. Oh,
Finals. Crown.
so
Okay. So crown tournament wound it down. There was, I think, it got down to final 3 fighters, and we're sort of all watching, see what's going on. Last 2 fighters are up. Their match did something interesting. They called the entire populace during the field, or nearly only the Shiv.
correct.
So, like, as a Westerner, how'd that feel to you? Well, what was like that was an interesting thing.
So interestingly, probably about the last crown, I actually got to talk with a rapier fighter I really respect, which is Assault, which is Robert of Woodson lady, and we were talking about it, and we realized that the mods never get asked to the field, and the mods are kind of the rapier version of the knights. So we always wondered why they never got asked out, and we found out that they've just never honestly been asked. So it was always just Shiv. So when it was today asking everybody, it was really cool because sometimes we can't see that far away.
Right.
Us as the populace, and it was also neat to be able to be intermingled with the knights and to hear their feedback as it was
Hearing
happening.
the commentary was interesting.
It was really awesome to be, and we felt like we were right on top of the fight.
Right.
So I think next time we might spread it out a little bit more, but
Sure.
at the same time, we got to be in on that action. We got to see everything happening, and it just felt to be more of like a family, like environment.
Oh,
Or we were about to
was-
eat the
it was
spoils.
the kingdom coming together to support their new heirs.
Correct.
Right.
That's the best part.
That's what I felt. I was like, okay, we're
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
support them, and whoever win or loss, whoever wins, like we're here for them, and the kingdom was all together.
Yes.
That looked cool. So like I've never seen that happen really. Like really is to people with a shiver out there. Granted, our fields are a little smaller, so we don't have to move much.
Oh.
And usually people get up and are around the edge of the field, and the
Mhm.
shiv are usually like on the field marshaling with them.
Mhm.
And usually the king comes out to marshal the last one just because he's the king and he can do that.
That is the great part about having
Yeah,
multiple
okay.
princes and
Right.
stuff like that.
So yesterday, all of each field had one of the highnesses on it.
Mhm.
Because like I had Soren on mine, I saw Helga was out there on one, and Thorfinn was on the other, and then Hans was fighting pickups or fighting buys as needed to. But then Tulia was attending Her Majesty and hanging out over here, being fancy.
Exactly.
We had so it let them be that, which will let Cyrus the king just sort of be around.
Yes, he
and
gets to
experience
watch
the
his
fights, yeah.
field and police it
Right.
as needed, which was really neat to be able to
Which
see.
I think is important for him having 4 fields, right?
Yes.
If you only had 1 field, it's not a big deal because it's 1 field. You've got one set of fights
Exactly.
going on.
Exactly.
So like timing, what did that look like yesterday? Was that sort of typical? We were done by
Yep.
typical time, which is surprising with 50 something fighters.
Mhm.
Like I was like that for us, that takes all day. But yeah, it was moving, man. So as a herald, I was watching that. I was watching how the heralds functions. I'm like, oh, this is cool, right?
The lists are our gods and
Yeah.
goddesses.
I-
How
well,
they handle it.
The whole list side, that's a whole different. Like I didn't. Get
Oh,
to,
yeah.
I want to go watch their process because I was trying to track it and I couldn't keep up with it.
So the
Like,
heralds actually have a process on how they
Okay.
do not overtake each other.
Right.
And that's a really fun part of how
Right.
our heralding works, because I'm a field herald.
Right.
And I love it. But yeah, it can be a little confusing sometimes, especially if sometimes they might have to move you to a different field. So you've set up your spot at right where you know your field is, so you don't
Right.
have to go that far. Sometimes all of a sudden you're hearing your name from the other side of the field and you're like, was that really me? Was that really me? Oh crap. And then you have to grab up all your stuff and rush over, and then you're just gonna go back to your old field.
So why do you get moved? What's the
collapsing.
Oh, as they start collapsing. Okay.
Sometimes it could even be something that field finished before everybody else, and your field is taking a little bit longer,
The fights are faster,
and
yeah.
they're just trying to get through
Right.
it as fast as they can.
Gotcha. Okay. But no, it was fun to watch because as one field hero would stop, the flag would drop, and the other flag would go up, and that person would talk, and the flag would drop, and the flag would go up. I was like,
It's like air traffic control.
yeah, it was orchestrated, but like nobody talked about it.
Yep.
It was just they just did it. They had a system, and I was like, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's,
The flags will point to
Mhm.
whoever is speaking. So
Right.
if you are speaking, your flag is high.
Right.
Everybody else will point to who is next to it, who is speaking or who is next to speak.
Nice.
I love that
It's
part.
a signal.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. And having that as a system built in, not only identified the fields during the invocation and during
Mhm.
procession, but then it lets you guys have that sort of communication style that didn't require you to run
Yes.
back and forth. Was cool. So, it's like you've been doing it for a couple years or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like you've had a day or two to figure this out. Oh man, I'm tired of talking. How about you?
I'm pretty
All
good. I got a 3-year-old to go catch.
Right. So we're gonna call this early, guys. We have a shiv meeting in about 20 minutes. It's sure dude's gonna have to get to, and then because he's a shiv now. Sir dude.
I accept 2.
That's right. It's like, pretty sure I stabbed you twice yesterday. Just saying.
Great Western. Great Western's
Yeah, Great
gonna be
Western's
busy
gonna be
for
fun
you
for
guys.
me. I'm already very bruised.
They're on the same side. Why are they fighting each other?
It happens. All right, so let's use a couple show plugs and we'll do some stuff here. Let's see what we got. All right, coming up next on Kal-bardr's Corner tonight on Kal-bardr's Corner, we have Road to Retention, episode 23, I think. 22, with the Honorable Aaron de Paladin. So we should be joining Baroness Remote at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 6 o'clock my time. I hope to God I make it home for that one. We'll have to figure that out. If you're at Great Western War next weekend, or if you're not, you should be. Come on out on Friday. Join all the KK Productions hosts. Where's my button at? There it is. At the Cocky Bulls Tavern in the Western Camp for the Dirty Pirate Party, or Our Flag Means Frivolity. It's the new name for it. It's good stuff, right?
It's great. No,
Yeah,
that's
it's good
I
stuff.
cannot say that.
See, you can't say Our Flag Means Frivolity.
No, I'll somehow say frivolous or something like that.
That's the same word.
Fuck off.
Fair enough. All right. And then there's another Coffee with Cal coming up, but I don't have the graphic for it. But tune in. So this is an off week for us. Ordinarily we would be next week, but because I had a better signal here than I would Western, we didn't do it today.
Sure.
So skip next week, and then we'll come back for next week with the enabling his appeal with Baroness Patrona after her step down. So
Not me.
as always, support KK Productions. Look us up on Patreon, patreon.com/KK Productions. And join the grand wall of patrons.
You did that with a straight face. I couldn't do that.
That sounds way cooler.
with a raspy voice.
I'm not on camera when I do it
Oh,
because they can't see me.
Oh, that's
It's
fair.
the best, man.
That's fair.
I can be all sorts of goofy when the camera's not on.
That's true.
If you want to look us up on Redbubble, you can search KK Productions on Redbubble. Buy some stickers, buy some merch. There's an Ask the Knights Live sticker out there supporting the show there. And we have some shows coming up from Ask the Knights Live, right?
Oh my gosh, we have so many
Yeah.
set up right now.
So,
Holy smokes.
there's a couple group chats I've been added to, and Effin and Annora and Little John have been just grabbing people.
Yeah.
So what's your first? I know the first one is Axel and Connor. Right?
Yes, I'm
Do we have-
very excited
what's-
for that.
What's the date on that?
I believe we decided on the 11th. Don't quote me. I think we might have had to move it to the 18th.
Yeah, so it's either be the 11th or 18th. I'll check on that when I get home tomorrow or tonight. But look at that Ask Tonight's Live page. That'll be their first episode with the new hosts and new tech guy. So
I think it's me.
it is you.
Hey, look, bus.
Yeah. So check that out. And if you have ideas for a show or just a goofy idea, you're like, I really want to see this on a show,
Mhm.
bring it to us. We have a Look Inside series. We're going to do some more stuff with. Talk to one of the nights here today about some working with fighters who would have dwelling in injuries like
Oh,
PTSD and discussing some of those things.
And we're actually trying to get a TikTok
Um,
together for those random questions.
yeah.
Grab a night, ask them.
So bring that to us. If we can't put it on Kal-bardr's Corner or on another channel, we'll hand it off to the social media officer or something, because there's always ideas. We have the tools. We don't always have the ideas. So bring that to us. Your Excellency, any final thoughts from you?
No, this was a huge honor to be able to do this.
Of course, I'd always have you on. So if you've never seen a Western tournament, come on out. It's a grand time. I know it's far for some of us, but it is worth the trip.
Oh, I think that's Effin.
Oh, thank you, Effin.
18th. Okay,
Yeah.
it was 18th.
Shout out to the show, Annora. Show's on the 18th, so that graphic will be coming up soon.
Actually, it is done. We need to actually start showing it off. It's freaking amazing.
How have I not seen it?
Because Effen's
Nobody
amazing.
loves me apparently. I'm just out of the loop.
Nope.
So,
You hand it off. We're taking it.
I'm done.
Not yours.
Howdy. You didn't have access to the page yet.
What's that?
You didn't have access to the page yet.
Nope, that's Effen.
He didn't have access to the page yet.
Oh, so it's you who's delaying us.
We can blame certain other nights that are doing this. It's
Oh.
Logan's fault. It's Logan's fault.
It's not done. Oh well, it looked great.
Okay. It looks. Yeah,
I'm saying it's done.
It's getting there. So, anyways, tune in for that. And as always, I'm Cal. This is Annora, and this has been Kal-bardr's Corner. Y'all have a good day, everybody.
See you guys on the 18th.